What's up everyone and welcome back to another Regiment review video. For those of you seeing this for the first time, the purpose of this series is to give back to the Foxhole community and to address a major gap when it comes to Regiment advertisement. In each Regiment review video, I embed with the Regiment in order to provide you all with a glimpse into what it would be like joining their ranks. In today's Regiment review, we'll be taking a look at the Colonial Regiment Para. One quick change before we dive into the review. In the first video for this series, I mentioned that I'd include a full operation I took part in as a section for the video. Instead, I wanted to try making a trailer for the Regiment, something short, concise, and epic for you all to enjoy. Let me know your thoughts on that change down in the comment section below. So without further delay, let's dive into the Para Regiment review. The 37th Paragon Artillery Regiment, or PARA for short, is an artillery-focused regiment founded in April of 2022. In addition to artillery, the group has a heavy emphasis on logistics, but tend to play a bit of everything. The regiment was founded by a group of players, 37087, Evoctaz, Warnow, Markman 2000, and Rex. All the other founders retired and no longer play Foxhole, except for Rex, who is the current leader of the group. The motivation for the creation of PARA was due to inadequate leadership and activity that Rex saw in a few different clans he was in before the creation of PARA. Using his previous experience leading players in other online clan-based games, Rex wanted to be the change and formed PARA. The reason for the specific focus on artillery really started off as a meme. When facilities were first announced and rockets were put in the game, Rex and some of the boys wanted to make a Katyusha factory for shits and giggles. At the time, no one except for maybe one or two EU regiments were interested in leaning into this new tech. Most regiments would dabble or give it a try, but there weren't regiments solely focused on producing rockets and arty for their faction. Rex pitched the idea of filling that gap to the group, and everyone agreed that they should focus on arty as a regiment. And at that point, the rest is history. In terms of how PARA fits into the greater colonial faction, the group does their best to maintain a frontline presence for each war. Additionally, PARA is a member of the Soul Coalition and a few other close allies. Together, they'll run coordinated operations to best maximize the strengths each regiment possesses. Rex told me a favorite quote of his that really encapsulates the purpose of PARA in the colonial faction. It's a quote by Napoleon which reads, "God fights on the side with the best artillery." And to some extent, Rex believes that this directly translates into Foxhole. While deciding which side has the best arty really lies with the devs, if one side has artillery while the other is lacking, there's a clear outcome on who's going to win the battle. Whether you like PARA or not, when the regiment arrives at a front line, friendlies cheer at the sight of their artillery guns, which helps encourage frontline players to keep the push going, knowing they have a reliable source of firepower to keep the fight alive. Now that we've covered an overview of PARA, let's take a look at what this regiment can achieve on the battlefield.
Oh, I'm bleeding.
All right. So, Corin, thanks for being the first person for the interview, dude. Appreciate it.
I'm glad to.
Couple questions here.
Indica here. Yeah.
Oh, it's all right, Indica. You're part of the interview as well. Oh well.
I'm dead.
Man.
So, how long have you been playing Foxhole for?
Oh, it's like 1.5 years probably.
Let's see, I have 9, right? I'm almost up to 1,000 hours on this game. Like, getting close. I'm at 917, but I played it. I think me and my friend started it back when War 70, I want to say.
Alright, I'm starting my first year of college, and I started playing in like the 4th grade, bro. In like
What?
pre-alpha. Yeah, dude, I've been playing since a wee little boy. Probably why I'm like mentally unhinged. Probably the reason.
over here?
Oh god, that's a good question. I think I've been start playing back in War '97.
Oh man, a couple of years now, I think, coming up on 3.
I've been playing. So I bought Foxhole when it first came out. I played it for a few weeks, quit, and then came back in 112 with NCR.
How did you find Para? Like, what got you interested in the regiment?
Well, I first found NCR, and I was with NCR until about 2 weeks ago. But NCR was in Seoul, and me and Rex are real close. I decided to come over to Para from Seoul.
You know, there was a sign in a town, and it was something along the lines of, "Are you unmedicated and enjoy shelling?" And ever since then, they've sunk their teeth in me.
I'm not gonna lie. Was it got sort of bored playing solo, so I just went through the Foxhole Discord, found Power was advertising them, thought, you know, might as well join, and then I've been playing ever since. Power was the first regiment I've ever joined. I've just remained with them. Some may say I'm now a Power loyalist.
I don't play like Foxhole for the game anymore. I play it for the people. And when I first ran into Para, they were like building their first factory, and I just remember LARPing with them in their factory, and it was so fun. So yeah, I joined them.
We kind of got tired of kind of being alone, so just recently we started searching for groups to join, and we came across a couple. I've joined one in the past, and my friend, he's like, hey, these guys are looking for people, so we joined them, and so far it's been, I like being part of Para, honestly.
I was always like a fan of artillery, like not specifically in game because it takes like a lot of people. But once I joined them, yeah, I learned to love artillery.
Since you've been a part of the regiment, what's been the most memorable or enjoyable experience you've had?
The teamwork and the goofiness of this clan, honestly.
Yeah, I've seen that, man. I've seen that in the short while I've been here. People here, they're pretty goofy.
Oh, there's too many to like single one out, but the one I remember most vividly now that we are in Umbral was having the Fort Black Castle, or we had a huge defense at Ass Crossroads, and we've been like encircled for 3 days and still fighting, and like we lost the fortress like 5 hours before the war stopped. So that was really, it was stressful, but it was so fun, like fighting alongside my brethren, having a time of my life.
It's got to be the operations, but like mainly the community, dude. Like the RD operations are fun, but like I don't know, everybody in Para is like funny, they're chill, they're all around like great people.
Who's your favorite person in Para?
Oh, but I love them all so much. I love them all so much. Gotta be either Happiness or Rex.
All
They're
right.
always a great time to talk to.
I like final stance. Like we shoot until our last shell for 6 hours, 8 hours.
Holy shit. 8
Continuous.
hours?
Yeah.
God, it's hard to pick one. Definitely one was I would say about 4 or 5 wars ago we decided to stick with or set ourselves up in Manacle. Day one of the wipe, and where me, Rex, and a few of the boys were planning major operations of putting wardens out, and we were just throwing bodies of mammons at warden emplacements. It was an absolute mob fest.
Oh man, every war I feel like we have won. One of the best, I think it was 2 or 3 wars back, we did a RSC op, and it went really well, and it went on for hours, but we actually ended up getting a screenshot from it commissioned into an art piece, and so that's in our Discord now. But that was pretty epic.
They really don't take the game all that serious like some other groups do. Plus, within Para, with the ending of last war, they do more than just Foxhole. It's a good group of guys to hang out with outside of Foxhole as well.
Nice. Okay, so you guys play other games too?
Yeah.
What do you guys usually play?
Shoot. We've been playing Borrowed Trauma a little bit.
Oh my god.
Marvel Rivals, that came out. Me and Rex play that every now and then.
What have you learned within the regiment? Anything new that Para taught you?
Not really. I learned a lot of my stuff in my last regiment. I do need to learn artillery a little bit more, mainly just spotting, which me and Rex talked about. So I will be learning how to spot better with Artie.
Nice. Okay, so they're gonna teach you more arty stuff, but you had like a background of things you already knew coming into the regiment. Cool.
Oh yeah, I didn't know shit about this game, and so every war I'm learning something new, whether it's building or another trick to spotting or I mean there's so many nuances to the game. You always learn something.
Oh yeah, no. Everything I've learned about Foxhole, I learned through the regiment. Like everything I know about artillery, everything I know about logistics. Now, base building, I'm hopeless at, so I leave that to the other guys. But whenever it comes to lending a hand or throwing bodies at the enemy, I'm your guy.
Yeah, they teach me everything. Yeah, the spotting, building, how the game works, the facilities, everything.
Yeah, bunker building mainly. We have Don't Starve, who's one of the leaders of Para. He does some crazy bunker stuff. Him and Chaotic, they do some really cool bunker builds.
Nice.
And they're always brushed up on the new meta, and they're always willing to teach.
I learned how to use artillery. That's for one.
Yeah.
I really got into the artillery aspect, so
Yeah, like I had a solid foundation, I guess, but like we have some very, very experienced facility builders. We have some very experienced bunker builders, artillerymen, of course, and we teach each other basically all the time. Not even just this game, but like other games as well. We like to kind of be a learning community and tell each other about our secrets, life hacks, and all that in Foxhole.
Is there anything else you focus on in the regiment? I know Para's mainly artillery focused, but do you specifically like to focus on anything else?
I kind of just help out whatever Para needs. If they need sulfur, I mostly go out and get sulfur or scrap.
Nice.
Or whatever they needed for their facilities to keep us running, honestly.
Whatever we like to, right? We want to have a facility this war. That's why we went to the coal field here. We try and be the ones that are building ammo factories, supplying like the front, like delivering stuff by train. But we also dabble in all kinds of things like navy, tanking, of course, infantry at the start of war. So we're pretty versatile. Of course, our main operations are artillery focused. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, me Loki, I'm not even that big of a fan of Artie. I rarely do Artie, even in the regiment. I just run around and shadow dance, but they kind of banned that. So,
Yeah.
Pretty tragic, but I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I'm in Para for the people. I play Foxhole for the people.
No, that's good, man. I mean, it shows that like you don't need to be in the regiment just because you want to focus on arty.
Oh yeah, God no. They're always like a lot of tanking, a lot of Nemesis tanking last war. Yeah, they like to do a lot of shenanigans, whether it be a jeep full of 4 people with stickies.
I like tanking, but yeah.
I like doing frontline. More specifically, I like doing frontline medic. Anytime whenever I go to frontline, I'm see they're running low of medics or medic materials. I just take an ambulance, fill it up, bring it up, and just try help out wherever I can.
Yeah, I enjoy the tanking. Para kind of dabbles in it all, but our tanking side is pretty strong. We do a lot of naval as well, but that's not everybody's cup of tea. And then when aviation comes out, we're going to be dipping into that as well.
I really like Logi. Not so much early game Logi. I like infantry early game, but I love Logi.
Last question, Creature. Anything else you want to talk about or let folks know who are watching the video?
Hope you guys all had a good Christmas. I don't know when this is going to come out, but if you're new to the game, don't feel afraid to ask somebody. I had to do something. Some people will be dicks. Most won't be, especially in backline hexes, they won't be.
Man, if you're looking and you're not in a regiment, get into one. It changes the game entirely. You can do things solo, but playing with a regiment, it's 100 times better. So if you're on the fence, just hop into one.
Never be afraid to pick up the game. Never be afraid to try help wherever you can. I know in this game that has a bit of a reputation for being what talks towards the newer players, but from my experience, like if you join up with the right group, have the right group of lads or gals or whatever, like to help you out, show you the ropes, you know, have a bit of laughs with it. It could be a fun experience. Yeah, it could be a bit scary trying to learn the more micromanaging end, but work slowly towards it, and you'll have fun in this game.
Para is a regiment open to anyone, bro. Go Para, bro.
Go Para, bro.
Honestly, if you're in Foxhole and you're struggling out there trying to look for a group to join, just try to find one that is not too overwhelming. And if you are a solo player, God bless you. It's hard out there. But no, yeah, just have fun and meet new people.
We're a cool community. I can't say that enough. We support each other. Of course we stand our ground, but also we're kind of we're really chill and cool guys. Like that's all you get to know about people that you're playing with online.
Corin, thank you for the interview, man. Appreciate it. Thank you, Grandpa George. Appreciate you doing the interview.
anytime.
Awesome.
Go
Well,
Para.
Fumbusi, Mind Wizard, a man of many talents and a name that can go with it. Thank you so much for the interview.
Yippee!
Well, Chinese Character Man, again, I appreciate it. I like your name. Thank you again for the interview. Rusty, thank you. Appreciate it, man.
No problem.
Thank you, Creature. Appreciate it, my man.
Hey, thank you.
Titan, thank you so much for the interview, man. Appreciate it.
No worries. Now, will you excuse me? The ocean calls.
There he goes. So why don't we start off with what got you to lead the regiment? What got you interested in leading in general? Give me some background there.
No matter what, when I first joined Foxhole, I was always, I always wanted to lead a regiment. I was always thought myself like, fucking. I've had previous experience in other games before Foxhole, in some sort of leadership position. I've seen what I'm capable of, so I figured, let's see how it goes leading a regiment, right? It really only got to that point sooner rather than later, because before I formed Para, I joined a few other regiments so that I could learn the game properly, so I could learn what goes into, so I could learn what goes into the game, how to do things, what to do, when to do it, all that fun stuff, right? And then I got fed up with some of the leadership in previous clans I've been in. Won't name names. They're good. They're in a good position now that I've had the proper time to work alongside them. But at the time, I was fed up with some of the regiments I was in before. So me and my previous group of buddies who came into the game with me, we said, fuck this noise. Let's make our own regiment. Let's do it now. And it just so happened to be the war where facilities were released after the 1.0 release, where it might as well, it'd be perfect timing for us. The game just came out of beta. They added new content into the game. And originally, we weren't supposed to be an artillery regiment. It was only really what started off as a joke, where one of my boys said, "Hey, let's do a Katusha factory. Let's do a rocket factory." And we were like, "Yeah, okay, cool." And we went along with that. And then I started to notice something, is that at the time, there was not a lot of dedicated artillery regiments at the time. Yeah, sure, everyone and their mom knows how to do arty, right? From every big clan, like 141, Som, everyone knows how to do artillery. But no one had a clan in which they solely focused on it, right? So I figured, why don't we just become that? And my boys agreed with me, and 2 years later, well, here we are now.
So for folks that don't know anything about Para, what can you say about the community itself and like the culture within the regiment?
Well, first off, for those who don't know us, we are an artillery regiment. We have, that's all we ever do. We eat, sleep, and breathe artillery. Of course, we're doing a little bit of other stuff on the side. We do some tanking, we do a lot of all that stuff, but primarily everything that has to do with artillery, whether it be its logistics, whether it has to be its combat, whether it has to be the tactics surrounding artillery, that's what we do. That's what we love. That's what we've hyper-fixated ourselves on in such an autistic manner that we have, some people have I'd like to think, from talking with people in the community, other leaders and stuff like that, other just average people who have been in the community long enough, some of them know who we are, and they know the work we put in. how I would describe us as a community is, I like to think we're a little bit more relaxed. We're not, like, we don't, this is going to sound like I'm throwing shade at people, but I have heard from some clans that they implement quotas on their new players, right? To me, that's fucking wild, because this is a video game. I understand this is a video game. People log on to come in here and to come on and have fun, to fuck around, to mess around, to make friends, to laugh. They come home from a long day of work. They come home from a shit day at school. And I don't want them to come back into an environment in which they have to like deal with some stupid 20-year-old, 22-year-old guy who's power tripping on a fucking video game, right? No, I want my members, I want people who even just come into Para to understand that you're here to relax, you're here to fuck around, you're here to laugh. Whether we win or lose a war or not, that you're here in the community to have a good time, essentially.
Nice. Yeah, no, from an outsider's perspective, before even doing this, like, I always had a positive opinion of Para, just from like operations where you guys were there or running by you guys whenever you guys were running your own operations. It was always great. And now, like, actually being embedded and seeing the day-to-day, especially day one, like yesterday, like, it's talking and messing around with everyone was a great time. But even before that, like, there was the battleship op I was a part of with you guys. It was great. It seems that way to me as well, that there's a relaxed atmosphere. In terms of organization for Para, how do you guys stay organized? I know you have a Discord channel, but, like, can you talk a little bit about that? Like, what can people expect when they first join the Discord? What kind of services, or, like, again, speaking from an organization standpoint, like, how do you keep people informed within the regiment?
So as a leader, it is my job for every average member to know what is going on, to know what the commanders are thinking, to know what our future plans are, what we plan to do. Whether or not that, I've talked to some other clan members from our allies, right? From the coalition that I am in, Seoul. I've talked to some of them. They have said that some leaders are very, very skeptical about giving as much information as possible because of operational security. I don't give enough of a shit about that. It's of informing your average members giving your average members as much information as possible. Then the risk of an alt getting that information and using it against us, I think the benefits outweigh the risks. In Para, we have a State of the Regiment, where it's an event in which we host a stage on Discord, and it's an opportunity for commanders to elaborate what are the plans that we are going to do the following war from day one and onwards, right? What is our general plan? What are we doing? Or what time? How do we do this? How do we do that? I give my average members as much information as possible, and even give an opportunity to speak up and ask any questions. What are their concerns? Could we address those concerns now? Would we address those concerns later? The point about that is clear and open communication between the average member and you. That in the average high rank. You are not as a high rank as anyone in power in Para. You are not above the men you lead. You fight right alongside them, and I'd hope to, I'm thankful that the men I've chose beside me have had that same mentality, and we haven't had any crazy people who yell at someone because they failed to properly tidy up a pallet of shells before an event, right? Like, no. That's the organizational structure that we have, is that everyone from the top down, we are no different. No one's better than the other, simply because you have a silly little rank right next to your name, right?
You briefly mentioned this, but Seoul Coalition. So can you talk a little bit about that coalition, where Para fits into that, how long you guys have been in that coalition, and I guess, like, in general, for new players that may not know, what is a coalition?
A coalition is a group of, essentially, it is a group of regiments, a group of clans who decide to come together and work alongside each other to, for as much organizational efficiency as possible, to organize operations to then further benefit the colonial faction, right? Or to hinder warden operations as well. And there's always strength in numbers. You can only do so much alone. And as much as I didn't want to admit that, I was very, very against coalitions personally, right? And then, just because of my experience with them before, And even before coalitions, I'd like to think that we did okay. I like to think that we as a clan were self-sufficient, and we could have done what we do best with or without people besides us, right? But now with Seoul, one of the newer coalitions that's come about onto the colonial side, and I'd like to think that we are a decent enough threat to wardens, and so that they will have to pay attention to us. And from what it sounds like on the brief interactions I've had with wardens on the battlefield, they know that we exist. They know for the most part that we are a threat. Besides MSA, besides NEP, besides all those people, right? Para is one of the founding members of the coalition, alongside NCR, our old allies, CGB, WLL, AIR. I might be missing some. I might be missing a few in there, but those are the ones that immediately come to mind when I think of the Seoul founding. So that is that's our coalition. We roll up, we kick ass, we love it. We we love Seoul. Even there'll always be bumps in the road. There's always going to be bumps in the road when you're working with people. But
Sure.
The best part about Seoul is that there's no one head that tells you, hey, you need to shut up and listen up, right? We all collectively sit down, work together, work through issues. And when we're not doing all that, we're on the front line and we're kicking ass all the time alongside our Russian buddies in air, alongside our friends with NCR, with the logistical power of WLL. We love them all.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of synergy there, especially like with you guys being focused on RD, WLL focused on logistics, and the manpower of air and all the other regiments in the coalition. That's really good. That's a recipe for disaster for wardens. One other question I had was, can you talk a little bit about, so specifically with Para, is it more NA or EU focused, or can you talk about what time zones and days are most active?
We can comfortably cover NA and EU time zone very, very well. We have a good core of Americans and a good core of Europeans, thank God. The only core that we are lacking is Australians. But of course, if you are Australian, we'd love to have you. We have a couple officers who are in the Asian time zone. We have a bunch of people who are capable of leading stuff in Asian time zone. We just don't have the manpower. And then they get discouraged and all that fun stuff, right? But that's where we're at right now. We have a comfortable American, we have a comfortable EU pop, and we do good on those time zones.
So last question, is there anything else you want to kind of end on or let folks know who are watching the video? All right, cool.
All right, that's enough of that. Yeah, that's it. I don't take my job seriously, bro. I'm just here to fuck around. I'm just here to have fun, and I'm here to have fun with the rest of my guys. That's it, bro. That's literally it.
Nice, dude. Well, Rex, thanks again for the interview, dude. Really appreciate it.
Good, man. Thanks for having me.
And that concludes the Para Regiment review. If you're interested in joining the Para Regiment, I've put the link to their Discord server down in the description and comment section below. If you do, let them know you saw this video and join from my link as well. In terms of my perspective, the community in Para is welcoming to new and veteran players alike. There's a sense that everyone in the regiment is a friend and an overall chill vibe whenever I join them on a Discord call. Rex's quote at the start of the video is also incredibly relevant. Back when I was running the Gremlin Regiment, there was more than a few frontline operations where Rex and the rest of the Para Regiment would be at the frontline before us, shelling the enemy defenses and giving us an opportunity to make some serious gains. Each time I'd see them working on their arty guns, I felt like there was a synergy that only existed because of Para's focus on arty. I truly think that they are the Colonial faction's secret weapon, and I encourage anyone that's interested in focusing on arty, or just to learn more about the mechanics, to join Para and fight alongside them for the Colonials. Thank you all so much for watching. I really enjoyed making the regiment trailer for this video, and I hope to do more of that moving forward for this series. I also wanted to share some preliminary data from the first regiment review I did with the 420th. There were a lot of comments in the video asking how to join, with responses from myself and 420th leadership. At the time when that video was posted about a month ago, the 420th had about 1,600 players in their Discord. That number later rose to 1,800 about a month after the regiment review video was posted. I'm glad so many of you guys found this series interesting. As time goes on and more regiment reviews are published, I hope everyone who watches can find that one regiment that they can vibe with and call home. I plan on doing 1 or 2 more regiment reviews for the Colonial faction, and then for War 121, I'll be diving into the list of Warden regiments that have submitted their request for review videos. If this is something you or your regiment is interested in, make sure you join my Discord server down below and submit your regiment under the Regiment Review Submissions channel. I do these videos in order of submissions, so those of you that already submitted your regiment are in the queue and I'll be in touch to schedule your video shortly. Anyway, that's it, you guys. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribe to the channel for more Foxhole related content. Until then, Happy New Year, everyone, and I'll see you all in the next one.
Made up with guys this evening. He's railing my eyes, he's railing my eyes. Oh, my daddy, it's me. He's railing my eyes, he's railing my eyes. I'm ready to let you blow. Ready to let you blow. Ready to let you blow. He's railing my eyes.